Okay, we're back on the Krag Handguard. Kind of wanted to show you some of the steps. I have some Bondo, what the hell is it? Fiberglass mat. Oh, let's focus on this, is atrocious. Any auto parts store, you can buy this stuff. This will probably last my entire life. There's like a ton of it. What I've done is I have pre-cut some pieces to fit. Good Lord, for the love of God, this thing is not focusing for shit today. There we go, there we go. High tech. So I have some Bondo fiberglass mat that has been cut to basically fit in here. Okay. Then I have my DevCon. It's a 2-part epoxy. Let's see if autofocus is going to work. There we go. So DevCon 2-ton epoxy. You have your clear and you have your you have the hardener and your resin. You mix that together very, very well. Okay. Toothpick, right there. You're going to lay it in these channels, all right, and then you're going to put the fiberglass on top, and then you're going to put more DevCon on top. When that's done, I'm going to basically clamp it to this barrel and let it sit overnight. I'm going to check the strength of it probably tomorrow morning, and then go from there. With the DevCon, there's pre-measured little pips on it. We're going to need quite a bit. So I'm going to start with this. If I need to mix more, I will mix more. You kind of want to get equal amounts across the board. And you are going to mix. And mix, 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 mix. You're gonna need to really mix this stuff thoroughly, because if you don't, what ends up happening is it takes forever to dry. Your strength, the strength of your repair is compromised because you have too much resin, too much hardener, etc., etc. So definitely pays to have this thing equal. So basically I'm going to take this, I'm going to just lay some in there like that. You can be sloppy, you can be generous with it, because you're going to have to do quite a bit of cleanup work and file work in order to make this look good, again, especially from the outside. You know, from the inside it's going to look like shit. Because it's going to have fiberglass, it's going to have epoxy, it's going to be all rough and whatnot. But that's the part you don't care about, because nobody ever sees it. The part that you're concerned about is the outside, because that's the part that is going to be shown to the world when you bring your beautiful Krag rifle out to the range, or you hand it down to your ancestors. All right, so we have our pieces, and we're just basically going to lay them in there. Just like that. And I'm wearing gloves because A, it's fiberglass, B, it's epoxy. This stuff's a pain in the ass to work with. Not a pain in the ass to work with. It's just sticky and it gets fucking everywhere. So you can basically lay it in there like that. I originally was going to do this and then show you how it was done after the fact, but I thought that since the whole point of this is instructional video, that I would just do it on the fly, so that way you can see what the hell I'm doing. So then you're going to just lay more epoxy resin, or more resin onto this. This stuff does stick and it does set up kind of fast. I might have put a little bit too much hardener in it. Yikes. But the fiberglass is going to basically absorb into, or the epoxy is going to absorb into the fiberglass. And what it's going to do, it's going to provide a very nice kind of tight, you can kind of see where it's soaked in. And that's what you want. You want it like soaked in really nice. You're going to dress this up with a Dremel on the inside. You're going to make a mess. That's just the way it is. So, and ideally you want the epoxy to squeeze out through the tops. This is not really pretty, and it's not designed to be. You're not trying to actually get this thing perfect right out of the box. This handguard is cracked, so your main focus on this handguard is to actually strengthen it. I've repaired many broken rifle stocks with this method, sometimes with screws. If you want to get anal retentive, you can cross drill it. You can put some bamboo skewers or whatever. Sorry, move the video away. It's totally up to you how involved you want to get. I'm going to try to keep this thing as original looking as possible. Now what I'm going to do is take my barrel. I'm going to drop this on there like that. The epoxy is going to stick to the barrel. I'm not going to lie to you. Whoops, I fucked up. Stand by. This piece did not lay in there very well. Alright, so And this barrel's a throwaway barrel, by the way, so it doesn't really matter how much crap I get on it, because it's been sporterized, badly cut down, and it's mainly of no use to me. If you want to be anal retentive, you can always wipe the barrel off. You can put a light coating of oil on it, but I wouldn't recommend it. You can put some lacquer on it. You know, the main thing, I'm just using this barrel as a base in order to help the epoxy set. Again, avoid Gorilla Glue, avoid all that crap. It doesn't work. You're just going to make your life harder, because when you do properly repair it, and to be honest, I don't think a Gorilla Glue repair is a proper repair. That's just my opinion, but most people that work with wood or work with military rifles in general will probably echo the same sentiment, that most Gorilla Glues and the like are garbage. While they claim to do work very well, they actually don't. They foam up, and they don't have the strength of an epoxy. Again, preferably, if you can use the Brownell's Acraglass. If you can't get Brownell's Acraglass, then you're going to want to use DevCon 2-ton epoxy. I love this stuff. I go through gallons of it. I buy it on eBay for about 12 bucks. Where's that? Got on eBay for about 12 bucks. Have it delivered right to my house, because I love eBay. You know, and it's actually it's actually very, very strong. It's the next best thing to Brownell's Acraglass if you cannot get Acraglass from Brownell's, which is almost impossible because they always have it. So, but if you want to go eBay, like I said, DevCon 2-ton epoxy, mix it up, let it set up for a repair like this. I would let it set up overnight. You know, you can kind of see what we're looking at. It's going to settle into the cracks. Once it is dried, I'm going to very carefully remove this handguard, and then I'm going to trim up the fiberglass pieces. I'm going to probably lay some more epoxy underneath, and then I'm going to clean up underneath once that dries, and then I'm going to start working on the outside. The main thing I want to do is repair the inside part, because that's going to hold the strength on the actual part itself. I apologize for this video. I'm working in my kitchen, and I didn't turn enough light on because I'm an idiot. But it gives you kind of the idea of what we're doing. Ideally, if you put some wax paper on this, it will not stick to the barrel. I ran out, and I was too lazy to go get some, so I'm just going to take my chances on this. If I carefully pry this off the barrel or slide it down, I'm going to be fine. I'm not too worried about it. So when we come back, we're going to see how the repair held, and we'll go from there. We'll start cleaning up and dressing. This is the good... It's going to take you a while to clean this thing up, because it's pretty messed up to begin with. So, but when we're done with it and it's all cleaned up and sanded and polished and stained and top coated, you hardly won't even see the crack at all. I know it looks like crap now, but trust me. See you in a bit.